Okay, I think the sound is on instead of being muted. I don't know if you guys are watching in the game, if you can see or hear that, but I think we're good. Welcome, everybody, to the first session of Forbidden Lands on Zhao Zam's Den. We've got a group of 5 adventurers here. Oh, wow, Wes is here. It's weird. Wes, are you seeing the icons for the players? I don't see it on my screen underneath my camera. OBS has been acting up for me like crazy. Or Gian, you're in there. Can you see? You don't see the you know how we usually have the
Oh,
little icons
I have
underneath
the
my
chat
camera?
popped out. Let me check. I have
Oh, Wes is playing
I had
D&D
everything
right
popped
now.
out.
Thanks for joining us while we play D&D.
All right, let's see.
Technical
I
difficulties.
do see the icons. They are cycling. They're cycling with our stats
Oh,
and character.
underneath my camera though. Usually it shows like
Oh
your Discord
no,
icons.
those
They're
aren't.
not on there, are they?
No, those aren't on there.
Of course, we got technical difficulties here.
I'm looking at no script now, and I think I see one that I need to allow.
I see the background from
Yes.
Dark Masters.
Yeah, that's my desktop. Ah, there's the game. That's my
I don't know if
desktop
you.
you're looking at.
I don't know if you knew that. I drew that.
Yeah, you drew that. Well, whatever. We'll play the first session without the icons.
Oh,
just-
you know what?
People just want
Yeah,
who's talking.
you can show our icons. You probably have them hidden in row 20. That's what it looks like.
No, it's the
No,
Discord
we're-
one. Something's up with OBS, but that's fine. We'll just play, and this week, just people won't see who's talking. It's just gonna be a big gap below me and voices coming out of nowhere. That's fine. It's not gonna hurt the game at all. So, what we'll do is we did session 0 last week, where these guys made characters, and we went on a little intro quest, and we left off. We're gonna pick up tonight where we left off. But first, what I want to do is have all the characters introduce, or all the players, sorry, introduce their characters. All of the characters are cycling down at the bottom of the screen with who they are, their stats, and all that. But I'm gonna let these guys also give a little background on who they are and why their characters have gone through, well, where the Blood Mists used to be and into the Forbidden Lands. So let's kick it off. Let's start with who should I pick on? Let's start with Gritsnob.
All right. Gritsnog is an orc scout. He's in search of an artifact to unite his people. He's a pretty surly fellow, strong, fighter type. And like I said, he's out for that artifact because legend tells that it will unite his people.
Nice. And he's an orc.
If you want all the if you want the gritty details of what his canon profession is he's an orc fighter, and he's an adult. He's an older orc.
That's right. He's seen some stuff.
He's seen some stuff that can't be unseen.
Awesome. Let's do Larovic next.
Sure thing. I am playing Larovic Zadoris. He is a half-elf sorcerer of the frailer variety, and he is following the path of signs. His background is effectively he is a worshiper of the Shard Maiden, which is a popular god amongst elves in the Forbidden Lands.
Mm-hmm.
And he is on his way. He'd like to make a pilgrimage to Maidenholm and visit the Grand Temple of the Order of Maidens when he gets there. Hopefully they'll let him in because it's not typical that they would let frailer half-elves into the temple.
Yeah, and hopefully he survives because that's a long ways away from where we're starting.
Yeah, there's that too.
Awesome. And I keep pronouncing your name differently than how you pronounce it, so I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
How do you pronounce
Larovic. I pronounce it Larovic. Yeah.
I'm doing a phonetic spelling on my piece of paper here in front of me, so I try to stop saying it wrong. Raedric. Let's do you next.
So Raedric is a dwarven fighter from south of the. I believe they're the. What's the exact mountain range called that houses the Iron Lock? I forget what it's called actually.
Oh, of course, it's cut off on the inside cover. The name of it.
That's what I literally turned to that and realized, oh
Well,
shit.
they call it the Divide, I believe.
That's it. Thank you.
All right, so starting from the top, Raedric is a dwarven fighter coming from south of the Divide, trying to escape his home after some unsavory domestic business, and looking to create a new, safer homestead now that the Blood Mists have retired, and hopefully gain some treasure and prestige along the way.
Awesome. Very good. And I think I'm saying your name right, Raedric.
Yeah.
Mornath. How about you go next?
Hi, Mornith is a half elf, also adult. He is on this journey to protect Larovic in his search for this temple.
I appreciate that.
A
Brothers
fighter,
to the end.
non-frail half elf, pressed into service for protection. He's honestly going along because he wishes to test his strength against that of the Outland.
Awesome. And last but not least, Phineas.
Yes. So I am playing Phineas Smokestack. He's a halfling minstrel. Likes instruments rather than singing. He had a little bit of a weird thing. He started off as a craftsman and some kind of military saw that he was good at it, so they force enlisted him, and then after that he went on an inspirational journey after being kicked out, and now he's just trying to see what's next in his life. And yeah, so he's a halfling minstrel, and that's pretty much it.
Forging on in this new uncharted land. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. We got an eclectic group of characters. I know we're gonna have another joining us next week. Hopefully, Weston, you're watching the replay on this. But this is our starting gang, and last week we got together and they made their way over the divide and into the Forbidden Lands. So why don't I call on all of you? I'm not going to pick on any one person, but if you guys want to give just a brief recap of what took place, you can help each other. I don't care. Jump in and go ahead and just kind of recap what happened. There wasn't too much, but it was your journey into these lands.
Well, Larovic remembers being awoken in the middle of the night as we were passing through the divide to a ruckus going on outside the cave we were staying in, and charging out to see our dwarven friend having an encounter with a Minotaur and lots of dead bodies laying around, and a second Minotaur laying in the ground dead.
Yep. That definitely.
I did not kill anyone. I should stay for that for the record. I was a defendant in the situation.
Nobody died. Well, at least not at your hands. Or, yeah, you.
They were predeceased. Let's say that.
Yeah.
The humans were. Well, and so was the one Minotaur. But yeah, you guys made your way over the divide. Who was guiding you guys through? Was it Gritsnab who was doing the navigation through there, and like was just killing it? You guys are like, oh man, he's been through here before. I think that's who it was. He was your pathfinder.
Yeah, he was
He was just
pathfinding.
like, there's like little hidden like pathways that have been created through the divide that people are using to come back and forth. And he's like, yeah, guys, I got this. You know, his old scouting days. He was able to find the paths through there, no problem. You guys didn't run into or encounter any troubles. You made camp in a cave. You guys did your make camp, and you guys just like aced it on that roll. And then it was overnight when you guys were on watch. There was heard sounds of battle and sobbing, and it was Raedric who went out there to investigate. If I'm not mistaken, is that correct, Raedric?
That is correct.
And
Yes.
You came across this scene that was described already with the 4 dead humans and a dead Minotaur, and he was standing over the body, sobbing and crying and mourning and just screaming like no. And at first he mistook you for one of these humans who had killed the other Minotaur. But we did get into combat and things did get started. But it was whose silver tongue was it that de-escalated the situation?
Lorovic stepped forward and made a desperate attempt to have cooler heads prevail.
Right. And you succeeded. The Minotaur second guessed his first assessment. Looking at you, there's one of you that's a human? And that's it? Or do we have no humans?
I don't think we have.
Yeah,
There's
no,
no
I
humans.
think it's
Yeah. So he was like, whoa, these guys who attacked were humans. They were in uniforms. They were unmarked. I remember that being asked if there was any markings on them, but they were wearing uniforms. And they killed his mate. And he once he came to clear senses, he asked you guys if he would help bury his mate. And in return, he would help show you to the nearest settlement. He also revealed that he was making his way over the divide to try and find a better world in the land you came from. And unfortunately, you guys kind of like shattered that for him and saying like, hey, it's no better over there, pal. Like you're gonna be persecuted and hunted and possibly killed over on that side too. But you did give him some directions how to get to, I believe it was like Orcish lands where he might be more accepted. But it was gonna be a long, hard journey for him. Does that sound?
Yeah, better to have them prepared for the world ahead as opposed to like get wandering into a situation that could just as easily be the same as it was before.
Right. So you guys gave him some directions. You helped him out. You helped bury his mate, and he.
Some of us did.
Gritsnob went back to sleep. He was like, "Forget this," and he went back to
Hey,
sleep.
and let's not forget we looted some human bodies.
Oh yeah, you guys got some gear and loot already. Did you guys
Yes,
make
we
note of that
did.
on your character sheets?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I got my notes here from last week. You got 4 broadswords, 4 studded leather, and 4 small shields.
Most definitely. Yep.
Yes.
Stacked, as they would say.
You guys are going into the new world with loot to sell in your first session already. And you didn't even kill anybody. You're not even murder hobos. It's not too bad.
Exactly.
Yet.
The night show.
The night is young. So
Carrying hobo right now. We only aspire to murder.
That's true. He showed you to a nearby settlement by the name of the Hollows, and that's where we left off. Oh, and his name was Orgod. Let's put that in the chat. I don't know if you guys made notes or if you're the type of folks who do make notes, but if you do, there's your Minotaur ally's name who helped you. Who knows? Maybe he'll show up again. He's a neat character. So we might as well pick up now where we left off. Minotaur ally. That's right. So you guys he presented you the site of this town, this walled town in front of you. There's a river that runs through part of the town. Oh, that was weird. Cover on my mic just fell. Let's fix that. And he bid you adieu, and he went on his way, and you guys were standing there. It's early morning. It's like 6 a.m., and you guys are standing there in front of near the gates of this town. So I'll read you the description again. The village is a welcome sight. A bunch of well-to-do houses are standing close together slightly obscured by billowing chimney smoke. You hear the sounds of kids playing and catch a smell of fresh bread. When you get closer, you can see a low stone wall encircling the small settlement that is guarded by a few simple stone towers. You see a wooden sign planted next to the road with the written words, "Welcome to the Hollows. Drink from our tankards, eat from our bowls, but honor the dead walking by our sides." So you guys have walked up on this wall. It's about the height of two grown humans. So it's a pretty sizable wall in front of you, but it looks like it's just kind of been cobbled together. There's no passageway in between or anything. It's just a solid wall made up of cobbled stones, and you're standing in front of a gate on the southwest side, and you can see the tops of houses over the gate, but in the background you can see at the back of the village, it almost backs onto a mountain range, and you can make out sitting above the town in the mountain range. It looks like there's like an altar or something made out of the stones amongst the mountains and hill.
I pull my helm down.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's right. You have a full face helm as an ogre, to hide your.
Orc, yeah.
Sorry, as an orc. I'm thinking of our.
Ogre would be awesome.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
our Zweihander.
Yeah.
So the
I
low
would
and
like
bad.
to cover my ears with my cloak hood as well.
Oh, right. Half elf. So the wall snakes around parts of the village that aren't facing and back onto that mountain range. The entire wall is covered by winding rows and rows hip bushes, giving it a pungent but pleasant smell as you walk up. And what I'm going to do is I got a map here that I can share with you guys as well, so you can see exactly where you are. So you guys are over on number 3 down there in the bottom left-hand corner. That's the gate that you're standing in front of. So you see the walls in front of you. You can see a stream running, or a river running into the town on either side, and there's a divide going through it. So the road enters the village by a massive iron-bound gate. It looks like it's made of oak. There's nobody standing outside the gate right now, but next to it is a worn copper bell attached to the wall, which is a little odd. But you guys have made your way up to the gate.
I'm gonna walk up and take my long-nailed finger and flick the bell.
Okay, you do so, and it lets off a little ring. And
Hey lads, keep a look around.
you ring the bell, and yeah, you say that, and there's no answer right away. Just silence.
To the left, number 2, is that a watchtower?
That is a watchtower. So
All right, so looking up at the crenellations, are there guards there?
yeah, you kind of wander over that way a little bit, and you do see, it appears there's a guard up in that tower. He seems to be sleeping on his watch, so he hasn't paid notice to you.
Yell out to him. You there! We have coin and wish a place to stay.
He jolts up. Who goes there? Who's there? Who seeks
Thirsty
entry?
travelers. Thirsty and hungry travelers.
Oh, he lets out a big moan. More of them. Okay, hold on. What? He starts getting his bearings. He starts looking. What time of day is it? What? Oh, okay. The night is past. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're safe. Just hold on, and someone will be opening the gate for you. And he clambers down and away on the other side of the wall. And after a few moments, you can hear what sounds like someone removing the beam that is holding the gate shut on the other side. And the gate swings open, and you see the same guard is standing there. He's like a middle-aged, portly guy. He's got a big, long mustache hanging down, and he doesn't seem to be really wearing a uniform with an insignia. It's more of a it looks like a militia type guard that looks after the town. And he goes, "Oh, welcome to the Hollows. Well, what's your business here?"
Like I said, we're just passing through, looking for drink.
Pretty
Oh.
thirsty. I'll sing you a song for a drink.
Well, I'm not the man to speak to about that, but just here, and he points at one of the buildings just directly up the road. He points at it's 9B on the map there. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, 9C, the big building just to the north of the gates there." He goes, "Well, that there is the Three Skulls Tavern. You could go there and find yourself a drink. It's the beer there is known throughout the land. It's actually renowned. We have ships coming and going all the time. Yawim, who runs the tavern, he's famous, you know. Why don't you go see him
Is he?
and have some of his renowned..."
famous?
Go ahead. What were you saying, sorry?
What exactly is he famous for?
Oh, it's for his beer. It's fantastic. It's the best beer I've ever had. He has it coming and going out of here all the time. But there's some local trouble here. There's between him and the woman who runs this town, the elder.
What kind of trouble?
Oh, you know, she wants to tax him. He doesn't want to pay taxes. We've got us locals, we call it the beer war going on here. Yeah, there's a bit of a divide here in town.
Sounds like fun.
Not everybody's pleased with the way that Miss Palmer runs things. She is the village elder, and yeah, not everyone is pleased. And Yawim is very outspoken on this because it is affecting his business.
You say you've had other travelers come through?
Oh, many. Since the mists lifted, there's been people coming and going all the time. Not everybody around here likes it. They're a little leery by all these newcomers, but it's definitely bringing a lot of commerce into town, that's for sure.
I don't know
So
what
these
that
folks
is.
that are coming from the mists, what coin do they pay in?
From the other side, from where you came from? Or from
I
these
may
lands?
be confused on the geography. Is he saying that people are coming from the area where the mist has recently gone away?
So you've crossed into the land where the mists were cutting where you came from off. So these are other people who have crossed the divide, make their way in there. You are now on the other side of the divide.
Oh, we are on the other side. Okay.
Session 0 got you across. I'm going to show you guys the map here. So here's a zoomed in map. And where you guys are, I put the little marker of the hollows. So you're on the other side of the divide. That's where the hollows is. And so you're there now. And he's talking about these other people who've crossed the divide and are now making their way through town and bringing... Well, he admits he's worried that they're going to bring trouble. Nobody has yet, but that's the concern amongst the locals.
Okay, got you. I was under the impression we were still on our side. So that's
We crossed
where
over.
the Minotaur was, but we crossed over after that.
Oh, okay, got you. No, you guys crossed over last week in session 0. We got that out of the way. So you encountered the Minotaur on this side, the north side of the divide. So you guys are already in the Forbidden Lands.
Any orc folk in town?
He stutters and orcs around here? No, the only orcs we know of are raiders and bandits. We don't want any orcs here.
Uh-oh.
I just snuffle. I'm used to that, so I don't say anything.
Seems like a relatively prejudiced attitude towards orcs.
Wow. What have you known orcs to be good for? Killing, that's what.
I was just gonna say that.
They're also probably good at carrying stuff.
Oh, that's completely possible, but any orc I've ever known has been a bad orc. Show me a good orc, and I will buy him a drink.
Will
I
you buy me
grab
one
from
for
my I grab
carrying
from my
things?
helm, and then I think twice before taking it off, and don't
No.
take it off.
You don't take it off?
Yeah, I don't take it off. Even
Oh,
though
okay.
Larovic says, "We'll hold you to that, sir. If you do meet an orc."
He lets it out. Oh, we'll see when that day comes.
And that's the beer for all of us.
He shakes his head and he chuckles and he rests his hands on his big belly. He goes, sure. Yes, a good orc wanders into town and I will buy you all a drink.
Keeps making that herbal sound. It's just distracting.
It's a quirk.
would a meal be included with that drink?
He's a you're pushing your luck now, aren't you? So,
I'm not taking the helm off right now.
So
No.
you want to head into? You guys want to go get that drink?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so as soon as you guys enter the gates, he steps aside. Behave yourselves in the hollows, and sure you have a good time. Try not to get too entangled in local politics. And he turns around and closes the gates. So in front of you, you've got those three buildings, 9A, 9B, 9C. And I'll read you a little description. On the river's southern shore lies a mill, the wheel of which slowly spins in the current. Connected to the mill is a large windowless building. Smoke billows from a wide chimney, winding its way up the hillock, much like the Blood Mist. The hillock being the... I made it a mountain range because where I chose for the hollows to be on the map is backing onto a mountain range, so we'll say it's a mountain. Because it's my game, damn it, and I can.
There you go.
On the other side of the street is a 2-story building, the upper story made from timber, tarred black. From this building, you can hear music and laughter. The small casks hang on chains from the roof of the porch. A sign to the right of the door announces, "Welcome to Three Skulls. Dwarves and other beard gobs don't bother," it says.
Wow.
I'm a dwarf.
Yes, you are a dwarf.
That sign's talking about me.
Nobody has a beard, though. I did look at your characters. I'm like, oh, who has a beard? Nobody, other than the dwarf. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, the orc might have a beard, but we don't know that because he's wearing a helmet all the time. Because otherwise, he'll get persecuted and attacked. Smart move.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
On a side note, the other character who's going to be joining us next week is a goblin. So you're going to have a goblin and an orc to deal with hiding.
Oh boy.
It should be fun. Okay, so yeah, the sounds and everything are coming from the tavern, where this world-renowned beer is served. It's produced in one of the other buildings across the way. But like I said, there's music and laughter, and there's people coming and going, villagers, as they walk out, and people are leaving and coming to. They stop when they see you, and they kind of stare you down, unsure. And then they continue on, but they kind of slink away. Not really wanting to get close to you. You know, if they look over at you and they make eye contact, they quickly look away, dart away, and continue on their business. Someone will put their hand up over their eyes and keep walking.
I just have a quick question about whether or not they are wearing weapons or, the guard, He didn't really say anything about our weapons or anything, did he?
No, he didn't.
Into town.
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay.
No, good question.
Actually, another question.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead. So, the mists have been cut off this area for a very long time.
300 years.
Recently lifted.
Yep.
Right. Are we able to understand their language easily? Because you got to figure there's been some kind of lingual drift.
That is a very good question. Thank you for bringing that up. And I was I was tempted to play on that with the way they spoke to you, because they do have a different dialect. You guys are speaking the same language, but there's definitely like local slang that's being thrown into it, and dialect. I don't know. Let's look at it like even in the States, between the North and the South, right? It's very, very different dialect between folks who are up in the Northern States and people within the Southern States. Or here in Canada, our French Canadians, when they go over to France and they speak French, the French there like crap on them and they go, that's not French, because it's a different dialect and they have slang and different ways they use the word. So you're experiencing the same thing here. Like you're picking up on what they're saying, and it takes a moment or two to kind of process it and go, okay, yeah, that's what you mean. Yeah, I get it.
All right. And then, and along with that, since we just read a sign, we can read their writing as well.
You can read their writing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same language.
Awesome.
I figured their alphabet probably wouldn't change that much unless they switched over to an entirely different language,
Well,
right?
you never know in 300 years. That's a very good question.
I mean, 300 years is the difference is like E's were everywhere back then.
Right. Ye old English.
Well, the other thing is that like everyone was cut off from each other, so there would be no possibility of things to change in such a giant way from possibly, you know what I mean? Like language wise,
Like culture wouldn't change that much just
culture
because
wouldn't
everyone's
change that
so.
much because they couldn't touch. Yeah, they couldn't get in touch with each other too.
But you'd see regionally, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
see
Or if their
differences.
culture got ran over by another one. So, this is just another point of information gathering. It's like, well, they're still alive here. Good.
Oh yeah,
It's
wait, there's
great.
people
No,
here.
it's all great.
They're somewhat civilized. Yay! Because you guys have heard rumors about things on the other side of the mist, right? Like nobody knows what's over on these savage lands, right? You hear travelers and minstrels and bards coming and singing tales and telling tales of like these savage lands overrun with like demons and ghosts, and they're only they're lawless except for the Rust brothers who go around dispatching justice wherever they can in any settlement. So you have rumors, and you're over here kind of going, oh, so it's very similar so far to life over there where we came from. So with that, you guys are still standing in front of the three skulls. Folks are very leery of you as they're going by. Like the guard said, it's very apparent that they're not a big fan of these newcomers who are coming to their village these days.
Okay.
I'm not very much a fan of their racism, I guess.
Well, you don't know if it's
Well,
all of them.
It's enough
Shall
of
we
them
go
that I
in?
know it's people staring.
Pardon me.
I knock.
On
On
the
the door.
tavern?
We can just walk in,
Yeah, I was
probably.
gonna say, if you knock, a barmaid swings the door open, goes, "Come on in, little man. Drinks all around. Yemen's famous brew on tap. Welcome, welcome."
Moment to
What?
just get a
'Cause he's a
feel for the
halfling.
place.
What was it? Sorry, what was the question?
To interrupt. Take a moment to get a feel for the place. Look to see what kind of coins are passing hands. Is it silver? Is it copper?
Yeah.
Get an idea of what things are worth.
For sure. So, like, I'm assuming you've stepped in, or you're kind of in the doorway, kind of standing there watching. Yeah, so there's a big bar, and there's tables, long tables everywhere, and people sitting around, and they're chatting, and there's music happening. There's a minstrel in the corner. And you look at the coin that is being exchanged at the bar with the bartender, and it is silver and copper and gold, but it has different markings and shapes to it. It's been pressed in different shapes than what you're used to on the other side. But the currency does appear to be the same. You don't know what the denomination of the values, the exchange rate, we should say, is over here, but it does look like they're using the same like precious minerals as currency.
Right. Just looking to not get rooked on the price of beer. So, like, what's being
Right.
traded for beer? Coppers or silvers?
There it appears to be silvers.
Whoa.
Man, this place is ritzy.
I agree. I think I can only afford one.
I can afford two. Do you want two? Oh wait, I can't buy anything because they hate dwarves.
Yeah, so like Raedric, do you go in?
No, fuck them.
Are you just kind of staying outside?
Yeah, I'm doing it as a protest.
She looks over you, the barmaid. She goes, oh, and looks to the rest of you. She goes, okay, he knows he's not welcome here, right? Like he's got to stay outside.
That short man is short as me. You let him in.
Well, he's not a dwarf, and she won't look at you when she's talking to you.
Can you prove that? Are you a scientist? Exactly.
Lorovic steps in and he says, "Is this really necessary, madam?"
She kind of brings her voice down, and she goes, "Listen, if it's up to me, come in. It's the owner of the establishment, Yawin. He doesn't like dwarves. It's a little strange, I'll admit." And she gets even more hush, and she looks around.
Oh, I'm hunched down. Yeah, I'm in there.
And he goes, "He's a dwarf himself. I don't know the deal behind it, but he hates dwarves.
That seems very odd.
He's self.
No, it makes sense now.
Oh, this is my halfling cousin.
Is this how
not
dwarves
a dwarf.
normally interact? I'm asking Raedric.
Oh yeah, clans like hate each other sometimes.
Yes.
Could be something
Right,
like
but
that.
just random dwarves. This seems very peculiar.
I mean, random stuff could happen anywhere.
The sign says no dwarves.
Exactly.
or
It could
beard
just be like
goblins.
this one dude got like hit in the head or something like that, and now he forgot that he's a dwarf. I'm still mad. Don't get me wrong. But at least now I know it's not like an institutional system. It's just one dipshit.
It's
Like,
not the hollows
if need be,
themselves. It's this weirdo.
Also, it's the burbs. Like, this is the equivalent of nowhere. I could probably kill the guy and replace him and become him, and people wouldn't notice.
I don't know, but could you make his very famous beer? Is the question.
Ooh.
Yawim.
I guarantee you the beer is just regular beer with the word fancy on it.
Any food? Any meat?
Yeah, there
talking
are
there.
plates of food that are being served. It looks like there's like sheep meat with some like buns and potatoes and such are being served here.
No pig?
It doesn't look like there's any pig on the menu today.
Okay. I mean, I go in and I take a seat.
Yeah. So the orc just barges in. You just kind of push your way past the barmaid and
Yeah, just push it
whoever's
off.
talking, Phineas and whoever else is there talking to her, and you just sit yourself down at a table.
I am going to, when I sit down at the table, I'm going to say, I'm hungry. I don't have much coin. Arm wrestle. Someone, I challenge any one of you in here. What I have in my pocket, I'll give you if you can beat me. If you buy my meal.
So you're like growling from underneath your full
Yep.
face mask. And orcs, they have like protruding bottom teeth and stuff. So you're muffled because you're wearing a full face mask
it's
already,
very
and it's also and people turn around and look at you, and the folks who are at the tables near you, they pick up their beers and they get up and walk to a table further away, and no one really wants to interact with you after you sit down and throw out a challenge. What do the others want to do?
After looking what
Go ahead.
coin has been passing for meals and such, I'll go up to the bar and inquire as to a plate of food and a mug of ale.
Yeah. There's a large bearded human behind the bar. Oh, what looking for a drink and some food, traveler?
Perhaps I will take out a silver and put it on the counter.
Oh, so you want the
Will this
good
buy
stuff?
me yet?
Yeah, you want the good stuff then, huh?
Or perhaps A more modest fare for who else has walked in? Me, Radrick. Who else is?
I'm outside.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll say, how many plates of modest food and beer can I acquire with this? I have 4 other companions with me.
Right. Well, let's see. And he kind of scans through him. Yeah, copper piece each will get you a tankard of the not so good stuff and a plate of food.
Done.
I'll just
Round
take the
for
food.
5 of us then. And is the sign inside or outside about the door?
The sign is hanging outside. Like it's
Outside.
actually like on the tavern sign. It says no dwarves or beard gobs
All right.
allowed.
And because of your sign, can I take a couple of those plates and a couple of those beers outside?
Oh, none of you are bearded. I don't understand. Why?
Well, your proprietor apparently doesn't like dwarves.
Oh, Yum. Yeah. He hunches down and goes, "Okay, I'll give it to you, but you can't be seen. I can't. No one can see you taking this stuff out to him. Okay."
Sure. That
Okay.
doesn't seem strange at all, my good man.
This is my boss. I'll never hear the end of it if he sees this.
I'll nod. Pay for food and ale for the lot of us.
So he goes ahead and he gives you a tankard of ale to bring out to him, and he goes, the plate will be left at your table, and you can take it out discreetly to him. Okay.
Nod.
Okay.
All right.
Can I not have the ale and have a double portion of food?
Yeah, you can request that, and they think it's a bit odd, but they'll grant it. They go, "Oh, sure."
All right.
So your food comes out pretty quickly. It's all been pre-prepared, and it's just cutting the meat and getting the potatoes out of the. They've been pre-boiled, so just putting them in front of you with a nice bun, and it's brought out to you. The barmaid brings it out to you and serves it to you, and she puts the extra plate down in front of you for your friend outside. She kind of nods and backs away, not wanting to know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Make a distraction for me, good woman.
She goes, "I will do no such thing," and she walks away.
I'll hand out a couple of coppers.
Just start handing out money.
No, like
to her.
essentially tipping her to just make a make a small scene so that I can duck out with this plate of food and it's.
Sure, she takes the money and she nods and she walks away, and she gets a few tables away from you, and she trips and falls down and says, "Oh my! Oh, I fall!"
Right.
And people are like, "Oh!"
I
They all
will
turn
slide
around
the
and
food.
yeah, people
and
rush
beer
to
off
her
the
rescue.
table while that happens.
So yeah, you bring it out to Raedric, and who's silently protesting out in the streets,
Well, loudly protesting, honestly.
loudly protesting.
But yeah, I guess now that I have my food, you should probably go back in there. I think someone hurt themselves.
Yep, duck back in.
So you go back in. Sorry, go ahead.
Eat the food.
Okay. You go back in, and people are helping the barmaid, and after a while, people go back to their own business. You guys are eating your food. How are you eating your food, Gritsnub, with your full face mask, your 2 plates of food?
Just kind of taking it and trying to jam it up in there. He's an orc, so it's everywhere.
All right, so it's messy and you don't care. People are looking at you a little.
If somebody looked closely, they would see the protruding jaw and tusk.
Yeah. People are looking at you a little odd. As you've got food running down your helmet and onto your armor itself, and oh, what a slub. But you're You're from the
In a
foreign lands.
sing-song voice, I'll say something like, "You're messy and you know it."
All right. So,
This little one's funny.
I like the little one. He's funny. So while you guys are eating and things have gone back to normal, from one of the back rooms, you see this stout man. He looks to be about the size of a dwarf, but he's completely beardless, with a shaved head and a big gut that grows even big massive gut. And he's just boisterous, and he's walking up the tables and talking to people and making the rounds, and eventually makes his way to your table. This little guy, and he goes, "Oh, we got travelers here. Welcome. You've come to the best establishment on this side of the divide. I am Yawam, and I see you're sampling my world famous ale."
I'm not.
Who's not?
Crit Snob. He didn't take any
Oh.
ale, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is actually really good beer. When you guys taste it, you're like, okay. And this is the not so good stuff, and you're like, oh, this is pretty tasty beer, and you're curious what the good stuff tastes like. He
I must
looks.
say,
Go ahead.
how much is a high-end variety of your beer?
You could have it for 1 silver. And then he kind of does a double take, and he looks at you. His eyes narrow, and he goes, "Are you?" And he starts to his face turns red, and his teeth like just grit. "Are you?"
Don't overheat.
And he's just kind of shaking. "No, you're not a dwarf," and he's like almost choking at the words.
No, not a dwarf. Sorry.
A halfling then.
Yes, the better of the two.
Whoa.
Oh, shots fired. He goes,
Well, I'm inside and you're not. No, I'm just kidding.
Your kind is tolerable, I suppose. For you, 1 gold for the good stuff.
Thank you, but no, thank you.
Oh.
He turns to the rest of you, and he kind of puts he repositions himself so his back is to like Phineas. He looks at the rest of you. "So what brings you to the Hollows?"
Lorovic says, "We are looking for hospitality in this wasteland we find ourselves traveling in, sir."
"Oh, well, this is a good start. You've got the best beer in the land here. We have warm beds, delicious food. You're more than welcome to stay here before you set off on your travels, but your money is good here."
Now, far be it from me to tell you your business, but it would seem to me you'd make more money if you let all types come into your establishment.
"All types? Are you speaking of that filth, dwarves?"
I speak of at least one friend of mine, yes, who hasn't come into your establishment, who has respected your rules thus far.
He's also a very clean dwarf, not a dirty dwarf.
I drop my chicken bone and say, "Aren't you a dwarf?"
Oh, he just looks disgusted. "Oh, don't compare me to that filth. I'm
You're a dwarf.
He is obviously a dwarf when you look at him. He's with his shaved head and his cleanly shaved face that he must shave every day to hold back that wild dwarven hair growth. He's not doing a very good job of hiding it.
He shaved 5 minutes ago, and he already has
He's
5
already
o'clock
got 5
shadow.
o'clock shadow. Yeah, exactly. If you want, I'll let you guys make a roll here to convince him. I'm looking over at the skills, trying to see what would be the most appropriate. There isn't really like a persuasion. per se in this game.
But there is a manipulation.
There is a manipulation. Are you trying to
And
manipulate?
I am
his
trying to lay
beliefs?
it on him a little bit.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and make me a manipulation roll?
Yeah, I'll do that. Here we go. No gear dice.
You got a success. All right, you're good. You got 2 success. You got 3 successes. So he sees.
I have a lot of manipulation and empathy.
Apparently, he's he reconsiders when you say like, "Hey, this guy's coin is as good as anyone else's," and you guys have been paying money and giving coin, and he kind of saw the money was in some of your coin purses, and he goes,
I'm good for right now, I think. I thought about it too.
"Well, you didn't fail. Remember the house rule. We're not gonna just push for the sake of pushing just so you can get willpower.
Right.
It's in a situation makes sense. Like you aced this roll with 3 6s. There's no reason to push this. He goes, his eyes narrow, and he looks around. He goes, things have been changing around here, I suppose, with all of you folk coming across the divide. He sighs. There's a lot of money to be made.
Indeed, and he doesn't have to. He can stay. He can come in and avoid you if that's what you'd like.
But I don't want to see him. And he stays in the worst room in the establishment.
Well, and Larovic looks around and takes the establishment in and says, "Well, I think the worst room in here would still be miles improved from any sleeping conditions we would see outside these gates."
He smiles and he chuckles and he slaps you on the back and goes, "I like you. You can have one of my good ales on the house." And he calls the bartender to bring you over one.
Oh no. Larovic looks at Mornath and just with a "oh my, what have I done" look on my face.
And you're brought over
Just enjoy your beer.
You're brought over one of the good ones.
Oh, I will definitely. I will sample it and take a nice big swig. Basically, I don't want to offend him by just taking a sip. So I'll take more than a sip and sample the wares. How are they?
Oh, it's delicious. It's amazing. Like it's living up to the reputation. You sample it and it's like comparable to one of the best beers and ales you've ever made. It's complex flavor but it's light and it's just hits you in the mouth, just full of a robust ale flavor, and you are genuinely like blown away that this little like Bodunk little town in the middle of nowhere on the other side of the divide has like beer this good. You're thinking, is it all this good over here? Is this like is this the cheap stuff? Did it just go up from here?
I'll look at him and say, "Truly, sir, this is one of the finest beverages I have ever sampled. Thank you."
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
And then I will try to down it as fast as possible.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You just slam it back.
Mm-hmm.
Are there rules in this game for getting intoxicated? I don't even know off the top of my head.
I don't remember off the top of my head either.
Let's go to I
didn't see any, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see intoxication. That's just a fun mechanic. But no, it doesn't look like it. So yeah, you down it, and it's wonderful. It's fantastic. And you slam it back, and you feel a little bit of a buzz, a little lightheaded there, but you're not drunk or anything. But drinking a beer that fast, and you don't have the fullest stomach. You did just eat a meal, but you hadn't really eaten much the day before, so it's hitting you a little bit.
Does he look like he's offended that I drank his beer that fast, or does he look like what I would consider to be a typical dwarf reaction, which to slamming a mug of beer, which would be excitement?
Yeah, he's pleased. He's very pleased with this.
Okay.
Oh, you could drink.
I wanted to make sure I went in the right direction with that instead of the wrong direction.
No, you did.
Okay.
So that he's pleased. He goes, "Oh, You can bring your dog in. He can join you.
Dog.
Oh, let's keep those two separate, shall we?
So he steps away. He goes, I must make the rounds, and he goes to the next table and starts talking to the folks there.
I think Larovic tries to get up from the table and maybe stumbles a little bit.
Yeah, you're feeling, like I said, you're feeling a little bit. So it's like, oh, whoa, whoa, you get your sea legs back, and you.
I'll sit down and belch and kind of look at the rest of the party like maybe somebody else should go get him.
Yeah.
I'll go get him. I get up at the eating my food and knock the plate over and walk out.
Stuff. All right, yeah, you go out there.
Yeah.
And Radric's out there, and I'm assuming you've finished your meal by now.
Oh yeah, I knock the plate over as I get up and go out.
Oh no,
and
Radric, he's
tell him
finished. I know you finished your meal. You just like inhaled it.
Oh,
Crit snob.
yeah.
I imagine Radrix just like sitting on the porch, like kicking his feet a little bit, eating a potato, like raw.
Like an apple. You're just biting into it.
Basically.
I tell him he can go in, and I go around the side and hoop.
Well, someone's finally decided to integrate this fine establishment. Finally. After all
Yes,
these minutes.
There's another dwarf in there. You might want to talk to him.
I prefer to
Oh,
avoid
jeez.
Is there
that.
a new form of gentrification?
But he wanted to talk to you.
Wait, he did?
Yeah. He's fat and he's bald. And he has a pot belly. Tell him I sent you his way. He wanted to talk to you.
Good
Are you
snob.
sure about that?
Good snob, the shit disturber.
I continue around the side of the bar and find a place to relieve myself.
All right, yeah, you're able to find a place to. There's a outhouse
I
outside.
imagine
They tell
horse
you.
poop smells horrible.
Do I see where the group has coagulated?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess.
They're all sitting at a table together, and you look at them, and they look at you, and they kind of like, give you the gesture, come over and join us, just with their little head jerk.
All right, I'm gonna go over there, plop myself down in the chair, with put my warhammer on the table.
Sure, yeah, you put your warhammer down. This little shaved dwarf, he looks over and glances at you, and he just kind of has a disgust look on his face and spits on the floor when he sees you, and he continues to talk to the folks at the table he's at.
He spits on the floor. Oh my goodness.
Dumbass, he's gonna have to clean that up later.
He wanted to talk to you. I don't know if you believed Chris Knob or not. So.
Is there a drink nearby?
I don't know. Larovic, did you finish your first ale before you got the
I did
second?
not.
So there is
I am tipsy on one beer.
there is a drink there on the table.
Mind if I swaggle it? I don't think that's a word, but yeah.
Absolutely not. And you notice that Larovic is looking worriedly between you and the shaven dwarf.
Don't worry, I'll bash his skull in if he starts shit.
Oh,
The shaven dwarf.
we have to keep them apart.
Yep.
And Larovic is saying that. I'm saying that in character too. He's kind of
Nice.
talking to himself.
So you guys are sitting there, and you're a little uneasy with the tension, and you can see that Yawim is getting fired up over at the table he's speaking at with the other folks there. Like, he's not getting mad at them, but you can tell he's getting passionate in his speech, and he's starting to get really loud. And he suddenly hops up on one of the tables and starts commanding the room. He starts delivering a speech, an impassioned speech to everyone in there. He says, "Now that the blood mists have been lifted, the world lies at all of their feet. There are opportunities for trade, exchanging information and cooperation with other settlements, but the greedy bailiff seeks to prevent this. And you can hear the people in the tavern like, yeah, yeah, and they're all jumping in and cheering, and the bailiff, the mention of the bailiff, they spit the greedy bailiff on the floor. And with every word he's saying, it's just like seething with hatred, just like acid dripping from every word. Especially when
bailiff's
he
on the
says
floor?
the word bailiff. And he continues on, and he's just shouting. He's getting the crowd riled up, and he goes, "The hag's number is up. It ends now. We'll put an end to this nonsense." And everybody's cheering, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he hops down, and people are coming over, and they're patting him on the back, and the whole place is all riled up. People are buying drinks like crazy now after his impassioned speech. And your guys are kind of like, what is going on here? You have an idea this might be related to what the guard was telling you? That there's some tension here, and there's what's known as the beer war going on?
Yep.
Kind of put 2 and 2 together there. Yeah, he's
When you say hag, you mean hag?
Yeah,
Or do you mean...
this hag, the greedy bailiff. The hag's number is up. And yeah, cheers.
Looking around, anyone not cheering to that?
No, there isn't. This whole establishment is like completely on board with what he's saying.
So there must be one other bar then that the other side frequents.
Back.
Yeah. So you guys are kind of like, you're sitting there going like, what did we walk into? What is happening in this little town? What kind of like little war is going on here?
Look, I am a little curious, especially since the guy produces it and the elder. I mean, is he just basically an Al Capone tax evasion? Because,
do you want to talk to like a local, like one of the other folks there?
yeah, I say, well, why do you hate the old bag so much?
Yeah, he just turned to like what, the table next to you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. They it's a young man. He's in his early 20s, looks like, and he's all riled up, and you can tell he's had a few beers. He's a little slurred. The bailiff. She thinks she can run this town how she likes. She's running it into the ground, if you ask me. And he's kind of hiccups and takes another swig from his tankard. And this place used to be great. It used to be great at one time, and her husband died, and this place is falling apart. She thinks she's doing good, but she's taxing old Yowam here. She has the guards doing all kinds of menial tasks. The wall's falling apart. Raiders or goblins will be in here next, burning the place to the ground.
So she taxes you all, but she doesn't even repair your walls. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Where does the money go?
Oh, his eyes light up. That's a good question. Where does the money go? She just sits in her big house. We rarely see her. When she does, she's surrounded by her militiamen. The folks on the other side of the bridge, on the other side of the river, they all support her. But us over here, on this side, we're with Yowam. We want to overthrow her. And we want her out of her seat of power.
Wait.
So, when I look around the bar, do I see a lot of blue-collar workers or a lot of white-collar workers?
It's a mix. It's a good question. It's a mix of all walks of life. Just looking at like the way people are dressed and stuff. Yeah, you can a general idea.
So Larovic hears the patron next to us say what he just said about the town.
Yeah.
the river dividing the town, and he actually laughs out loud. And he says, "You mean to tell me in the middle of all this, in this little pocket of civilization, that there are even divides here?" And he finds that hilarious. And it may also be beer fueled.
Well, and you say this, and he doesn't really take notice because he's also quite tipsy and he's drunk, caught up in the moment. And he's trying to process also what was said about, yeah, where does the money go? Where's my money going?
Usually, when someone accumulates a vast wealth and keeps it hidden underneath their house. Now, I ain't saying this is the case, but more often than not, they're a dragon.
He goes, oh, now that you mention it, she never, ever, really, ever leaves that house. So maybe she's a dragon.
This is so good. Yeah. I mean, have you ever seen her fly? Everyone talks about her.
He thinks for a moment, takes a sip. Now, have you ever seen her fly? Per se?
I don't know. I just want to say something out of character, and that's maybe we should talk to the other side before we start. Immediately, like, oh, I don't know. Do you know what I'm getting at, or?
Yep.
Yep.
But
Prisma's not going to take part in any of this that domestic
This
stuff.
nonsense.
He's looking for the artifact which I've named the Destiny Shard.
Oh.
He's more focused on that. So I'll start asking around town if anyone's heard of it. Later.
Later, yeah. While they're not all drunk and ready to go overthrow the town elder.
He has food all over his face. Yeah.
He's got to clean himself up. He's a respectable.
He won't. But yes. He won't clean himself. It better rain. If it rains, he'll be clean.
All right. So yeah, this is going on around you, and people are like, "Yeah, down with the hag, the old bailiff. Her time's up." And people are all getting all riled up and drinking more, and you guys are just kind of sitting there looking at each other like, "Okay, what the hell did we walk in on here?"
yeah, so guys, I don't know. What do you do? Do you want to? This is I don't know. I would like to talk to the other side. You guys, I know one of you said something about the other side of the bar. The other side's bar. Is there a second bar in town? Yeah.
Yeah, one of the patrons near you turns around and goes, "Yeah, there's another tavern over there, but they don't serve this fine ale over there. Why would you want to go? Why would you want to go drink the swill they serve?"
Yeah, I'm a man of the world. I'd like to try everything once at least.
Well, he goes, "Well, there's the Dead Man's Hand Inn. You can go over there. That's where all of the supporters of the old bailiff, that's where they all congregate. So you can go over there and be a part of that, but
I just want to. You don't mind if I come back, do you?
No. Why don't you go over there and why don't you go see just how bad things are and come back over here and join us for a drink?"
Appreciate it there, lad.
All right.
So he turns back around and he says to you guys he whispers, be like, "Hey, what do you think?"
I'm still outside, right?
You're inside, aren't you? Didn't you go back in, or did you go out? You're waiting out there for them?
No, I went out and found a place to relieve myself.
Yeah. There's an outhouse out back, and you're out there relieving yourself.
He didn't make it.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, it can't hurt. If the beer on the other side of the river is as good as the one I just had, it must be something. But if it's not, we have to come back here, and I suggest you get more of these.
I'll tell you what. You go with me, and I'll buy you one.
Sold.
All right.
Actually, I got a question about the ale.
Sure.
Is this like a normal dwarven ale, or is this like some other concoction that
Good
we've
question.
been drinking?
It doesn't taste like dwarven ale. It's more like a human style of ale. Oddly enough.
No, I'm still sober. Alright, I'm gonna. Is there a way I can keep the tankard with me and bring it with me? Like empty out my water skin and just pour this beer in there? That way I can keep it for tasting later?
Yeah. The place is all riled up. People are all kind of gathering around one another and cheering. So yeah, you could discreetly pocket this.
Perfect. Time to do a little taste test, boys.
That's an awesome idea.
All right. So you guys want to head outside?
I'm gonna bring my warhammer with me.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna leave that on the table.
Yeah, no.
So you guys get outside, and Brit Snob is standing there.
Yes, I am interested to see how the 2-beer system of politics works in this town.
the quote unquote beer wars of 2 beers. Yeah, so you guys make your way out, and you get towards the bridge, and you can see now the rest of the village there, like as in the map there on the page. There's appears to be a lot more buildings on the other side of the bridge, including a really large one, number 10 there. And then you can also see on the mountain range, you see that weird like obelisk or whatever over up on the mountains, carved there. But yeah, there's a solid stone bridge crosses the creek, snaking through the village. The bridge looks like it's 100 years old, if not more. It's covered in like moss and algae. This thing is ancient, so this establishment's been here for a long time. The foundation is crumbling in some places. It's had the odd repair. This thing dates back very long ways. You can tell from probably early on in this settlement's establishment. They needed a means to get across, and this has served its purpose ever since. They just kind of keep throwing like tape and gum on it to keep it together.
Tape and gum.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, the important stuff.
Keep so off to the number 6 there, off to the side of the bridge is a small harbor. It looks like it's like newly constructed. It's like fresh, brand new wood that a pier is made out of there. And there's 2 wide boats moored at the pier. They each have 6 oars and a mast, which is currently down. And the harbor smells of tar from this freshly built pier that's sitting there.
Lorovic says, friends, we may want to inquire about use of those boats depending on where this river heads. We may want to investigate that before we leave this place. But beer! And then he marches towards the bridge.
All right, we're an hour and a half in. Why don't we're like at the halfway mark. You guys want to take a 5-minute break?
I'm okay with that.
Use the bathroom, and then we'll come back.
Refill beverages, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you guys good with that?
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's take a break here as we cross the bridge, and we'll come back and pick up there. myself so that we have sound. I've gone a whole session, a whole 3 hours, muted till like the very end, and someone dropped into the chat. They're like, "Hey, I can't hear anything," and I was like, "Oh crap." So
Are
we're
you
back
serious?
live. Welcome back,
Oh,
everybody who
no.
stuck around during the break. We're going over the bridge to the other side of the beer wars, and I think we have sound. If there's real people here. Can you guys hear me? Wes is still in here. I don't know if he's got sound on because he's playing D&D right now. But we got all of us. We got some bots. We got Wes. I think they can hear us.
Wes is a bot.
Yeah.
I was actually able to hear you. I have
Okay.
the channel volume. I unmuted it for just a second, and then it's working.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. There's nothing worse. I read the last like Star Wars session I ran. It's like, oh, let's just delete that. There's a whole just like gap now in that whole quest because there's no sound. So we left off with you guys crossing the bridge. You were pointed to which building is the inn over here, the Dead Man's Inn. It's building number 8. So you guys get to the bridge and you make your way over, and as you're making your way over, it's the same reaction as on the other side. People are looking at you and they don't really want to make contact. They're avoiding you at all costs, trying to stay away from you. And as you guys cross the bridge, coming from over on the west side, moving easterly, you see a really, really large figure moving by, and he's garbed in yellow and red cloaks, and he's just got like a horribly disfigured, scarred up face, and he's making the rounds, it appears, and people are kind of staying away from him. But looking at his garb, you guys have heard rumors of these guys, and he, especially by the rusted iron that is hanging from his cloak, you have a good idea that this is the local Rust brother for this village. And he's walking around, and he's kind of like looking at the houses as he walks by, and he's looking at the people and the children running around, but nobody really pays attention to him, and they kind of stay away from him as well. And he just kind of lumbers on by. He looks at you and doesn't say anything and continues on his path easterly through the village. It appears that he's making his rounds.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is he armed?
Yeah, he is armed. What is he armed with is your next question, right?
I suppose.
It's a good question. He's got a great
Well,
sword.
actually,
We'll
okay,
say.
good.
I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, he's got some. Oh, he's got a long sword. I apologize.
Sure.
It is here. Long sword,
Don't know.
dressed
You know
in
what?
chainmail, yellow and red cloak with rusted iron hanging from it.
Uh-oh.
And he's just moving around like somberly.
I'm just making a mental note of that.
Yeah. You gonna steal a sword?
Are you daring
Oh,
him
I
to?
already found one and to spare.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we should hey gents, we should try to sell off our goods here sometime before we cause too much trouble
Or
in
any?
town.
Or any trouble? Hey, you guys planning on causing trouble here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to continue on to the inn, or?
I don't think I want to stop the Rust brother because, yeah, because of my past.
Yeah, you
I
I know
may
have
or
had
may not
encounters
have
with the
had-
Rust brothers, right?
Yeah, I may or may not have had some kind of run-in with them. Yes.
And I'm assuming that the other PCs don't know about this. This is something that you've kept to yourself.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So you're a little uneasy around the Rust brother when he lumbers by.
Most definitely. I get a little I don't want to say I take a step back, but my hand, my arms get a little like stiff, like ready to react, but nothing, nothing too mm, outward showing. I don't want to give my nervousness away, but yeah, I don't. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can continue on down the street there towards number 8. There's some buildings. There's like a little stable there. It looks like someone's got a few pigs in a pen there, just in the building just south of number 8. Number 13, as you get closer to the inn, is a chapel. So it's a pointed roof of painted tiles is built atop a circle of wooden columns. On the columns are carved beautiful reliefs of birds. And this, you can see in through the door, there's a stone floor of the temple is covered with dried flowers, copper coins, crops, and animal bones. So you can only assume some sort of village offering going on here right now. Possibly there's a celebration of some sorts. You're not too sure, but there's nobody in there, and the whole floor is covered in this.
Is there any symbolism associated here that anything we would recognize or be able to possibly identify?
Yes. Good question. You do see symbols for the gods of Whale, Flow, and the Nightwalker.
Larovic goes visibly pale when he sees this temple and who some of the patron gods
Yeah.
are.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of take it in. You're like, oh, okay. What is going on in this village?
Mm,
On the other side of the chapel
So
is the tavern, or the inn, I should say. The Dead Man's Hand Inn. So it's a large 2-story, half-timbered building. Smoke is coming out of the 3 chimneys on the steep thatched roof. Where the window shutters are open, a warm light shines in on the building. Above the double door is a sign and a pair of red painted lanterns next to each other. The sign lets you know that you have reached the Dead Man's Hand Inn. The scent of grilled boar, oh, there's your pig, can be
there you
smelled
go.
all the way to the well, which is just north. Number 4, there's a well in the center of town. So the smell of grilled boar is just emanating from this building, and you start salivating, Grits. Now, oh, here's the pig I wanted, the hog.
Now let's look out to see which race is going to be discriminated at this bar.
There is no signage barring any sort of patrons from this place.
Good sign. Good sign. No sign's better than good sign at this rate.
This seems like the place. It smells good.
Yeah, so yeah,
I'm sorry, what was the name of it again?
it is the Dead Man's Hand Inn. It's a mouthful. Dead Hand Man's Inn. Dead Man's Hand? Oh, where is it? Dead Man's Hand. Dead Man's Hand Inn.
Dead hand man.
Yeah, we can call the Dead
Well, let's
we can
sample
call
the
Dead
beer in
Hands
this
Man
one.
in too. We're fine with that. Renaming things just like what, Silky Smooth the other week. We talk about that at work all the time, Erg and I, by the way. How we can use Silky Smooth whenever we can. So, yeah. So people are coming and going. It's pretty busy as well. Just like the other side. But again, people are avoiding you. They try to avoid contact with you. Nobody's talking to you. They make uneasy eye contact and then quickly look away.
And what was the primary race at the other bar?
It
Humans.
was mostly humans.
Yeah, this whole village, like walking through, it's been majority humans. So What's his name? Yawin. Where is he? I got my NPCs. This is Yawim. Has been like the first non-human you've seen here.
No strange signage indicating that folk of dwarven descent would not be allowed.
Not at all.
Well, let's head on in, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
You guys open the door, and this place, just like the other tavern, is a hustle of activity. This is an inn though, so it looks like it's almost recently been converted to an inn. Everything's quite new in here. The tables and the setup, and it even smells new. Like the paint on the walls is newer, and everybody's kind of doing their own thing and at their tables. And you guys enter, and they turn around and look at you, and there's like a hush. And then they slowly go back to what they're doing.
I go in with the same offer to arm wrestle.
You slam yourself down at a table and throw an arm wrestle offer again?
Yep.
All right.
We've got to make him a sign. We'll arm wrestle for food.
Yeah, right? Just hanging around his neck. Or painted on his armor. How about that?
Yeah, I do have good armor.
So it doesn't take too long, and a middle-aged man. He's got graying hair. It's almost, well, it's salt and pepper hair. Comes on over. He's got like a kind features, kind face, and he smiles and looks at you and goes, "Oh, more travelers. What brings you to the Hollows? Thank you for coming to Dead Man's Hand Inn. My name is Olm, and this is my establishment."
Do you ever hear of the Destiny Shard?
Destiny Shard? He's kind of like, that's the first thing you say to him, so he's a little like, after asking you what you're doing here. I've not heard of a Destiny Shard. And he looks at the rest of you.
Well, I tell you what, the other bar that we stopped in claimed to have the best beer ever. And, I just want to be fair.
Well, yes, we do serve some fine beer here. He kind of looks around, and I can offer you an excellent wine, but yeah, we have beer, but the wine is much better.
Huh. What was the competition's name again?
The competition's name is, let me put it in chat, the Three Skulls Tavern. He looks around and leans in. He goes, "Listen, your money's good here. If we do this on the down low, I can get you some of Yawim's ale, but this must not be public."
Oh, no, that's quite all right. So you recommend the wine for this establishment?
Yes, and he gets all loud again. The wine, yes, thank you so much for coming here. Yes, can I get you gentlemen some wine?
Oh, yes, please. I would like, do you have any rice wine?
Rice wine? No, not in this region, sadly.
What do you make your wine from?
It is from grapes.
Oh, great. Do you have different colors, different colored wines?
We have red wine available here. Like I said, it's delicious.
Oh, really?
It is excellent.
I've heard that goes well with some nice big piece of meat.
Oh
yeah.
Would you be able to get that?
Well, I'll tell you what. For
like that
one
for me?
silver, I can get you some wine. And over there, and he points to an open grill. He goes, "There's wild boar, mutton, game birds, all grilling over there. We can get you. It comes with turnips and carrots. Does that sound good?"
Turnips and what?
carrots. Sweet, delicious
can
carrots
keep the
grow here in the
turnip and carrot.
region.
Oh no. You can keep that. I will
Oh,
just take the meat.
well, it'll still be a silver if that's okay. And he kind of looks around, kind of half smiling. Or if you gentlemen are new
Sure.
here, if you're short on funds, and
No,
he
I'll
kind of
give you the
starts.
silver. I just want more meat instead of the vegetables.
Oh,
I'm not-
Now,
carrot.
I put my hand on on the shoulder. If we were short on funds,
well, you see, he points to a large pot on the fire. He goes, "Oh, there's turnip and bacon rind stew we can set you up with."
no. I was hoping you would have a lead on some work, maybe.
Oh, work. Oh, well, this place has been a hive of activity since the mists have disappeared. Really, we've been catering to travelers such as yourselves. Um, not everybody's been very welcoming, but it has been very good for business. As you can see, I've converted this into an inn, and my family and I, we were doing quite well for ourselves. When it comes to work, I don't know much around here. I know. He looks around uneasy. There's some tensions here in town. You might want to check in with them. There might be work either side of this war that's happening.
Yes. Well, the problems inherent in a two-party system. You really should get a third beer developer here.
Oh, do you brew? Would you be interested in brewing exclusively for us?
No, not myself. Maybe one of my companions.
He looks at the rest. He's grinning. He's like, "Oh, brewers? That would be fantastic. You'd be a fantastic addition to the town, to the village."
Don't look at me. I'm just a musician.
But let's try some of that house wine, shall we?
Yes, let me bring you out some wine. And he scuttles away. So while you guys are sitting there drinking, the door swings open, and the Rust Brother lumbers on in, and he goes and sits by himself at a table in the back in a corner, and one of the workers there at the inn brings him over a tankard of ale, and he just sits there sipping it, kind of looking down into his mug, not really interacting with anybody. And again, people are kind of avoiding him. And after some time, Olm scuttles back with your wine. Oh, here you go, my fine gentleman. So you're looking for work, you say?
Yeah, but before that, I point toward the Rust brother. I say, who is that? What is that brother Rust's name?
Oh, yes, our local Rust Brother. Well, that is Sturkus. Rust Brother Sturkus. I'll put the
Is he
spelling in the chat.
has he been causing any trouble?
No, he really keeps to himself. The folks here in the village don't really interact with him much. It's pretty quiet around here for any sort of trouble these days.
And he doesn't have any interaction between your brewing war, so to speak.
No,
He doesn't get involved with.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't take sides in this local
So
squabble.
he's a centrist in terms of beer gang.
Pardon me.
He's sort of in the middle of the situation.
Yes, that's right. He's in the middle of the situation. Yeah.
Does he
I don't know.
frequent both breweries?
Pardon me.
Does he frequent both places?
No, he just comes to my establishment. I'm not aware of him ever drinking over there in the other one. And our village elder, she comes here usually once an evening as well. Miss Polymer, her and her supporters, they gather here in the evenings, and
Oh,
here in my establishment, it's great. Folks on this side of the bridge, we believe in Mrs. Polymer. She's doing good for the village. She's not what she used to be after her poor husband passed away, and living in the shadow of her great grandmother, who was the elder years ago, and she was the founder of this village, her great grandmother. But yeah, poor Miss Polymer gets compared to her all too often, and she's doing the best she can for us.
Gets compared to her grandmother.
Yeah, her great grandmother, the founder of the Hollows. Yeah.
Oh yes.
and
Did
not her
did her
husband. Sorry, go ahead.
did her great grandmother, was she considered a good ruler?
She was. The people here love her. We still speak of her fondly.
Interesting.
Across the bridge at bar we just came from, there's an awful lot of hard talk against her.
Well, yes, tensions are quite high here. There's this beer war, this Cold War I speak of, that's been going on. Mrs. Polymer, she's trying to tax the beer leaving here. It is quite. He lowers his voice. It's quite popular. It's a good product. It's quite popular, and it's in high demand across the land. And she's using this to tax old women. He's not having it, and he has his group of supporters over there on that side of the bridge, and Mrs. Polymer has hers over here.
Well, surely those taxes will go into improving this fine village.
Yeah, he kind of hangs his head and pauses, and yeah, improving the village, sure. And he changes the subject quickly. He's like, "Oh, are you guys staying the night here in the village?"
Well, I would certainly hope so. We don't wish to sleep outside the walls.
Has
Yeah.
anybody warned you about the undead that wander the streets here at night?
The what?
Dead. The what? In the town?
Yeah. Well, the Hollows. It's built on an old burial ground, an old graveyard. And we coexist with the undead here. It's we have an understanding. That's why there's bells outside of every house. I don't know if you noticed that, but there's a
I saw
bell.
the sign
What?
coming in.
Yeah. So if just to warn you, if you do go out at night, there's a practice you need to do to ensure that the wraiths and the restless undead, they leave you alone.
Wraiths?
The
Wraiths, yeah. He says you
wraiths.
need to ring the bell and say these words: "I come in peace and amity in the hour of the dead." And that warns them that you're there and you mean no harm. You'll see them wandering the streets at night. But if you go ahead and do that, you ring the bell and you say that, you'll be fine.
That sounds rather important, sir. Could you repeat? We should say, I come in peace and amity. What was the rest of that?
Can you write it down?
In the hour of the dead. I come in
boy.
peace and amity in the hour of the dead. So
Okay,
yeah, once the sun goes down, you be sure, ring the bell and say that, and you'll be left alone. Oh, and that reminds me also. Only walk along paths that are lined with red painted stones. That yes. Sorry, I've lived here my whole life. It's second nature to me.
Can Lorovic make an insight check to see if it seems like this guy's telling the whole truth and not leaving anything important out?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and make an insight check.
All right. Whew, barely.
Yeah, you're reading his demeanor and his reaction, the way he's saying it, and he seems very genuine. And
Okay.
and it is out of concern, and but he had to catch himself. He did have to catch himself to remind you of that other tidbit, because from what you could tell him what he said, it does almost seem like these people have grown up with it. It's second nature. And you're actually a little relieved that he told you of this ritual. You can only imagine
Okay.
what would have happened if you didn't do so.
Yeah, that seems like data that we would want.
So yeah,
Now you
beware.
say
So
that
we're gonna be out
you
at night. Make sure you do
coexist,
that.
though.
What was that?
You say you coexist with them. So what do they get out of this?
Beer.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. And
Is it normal for the dead to walk like this in these lands, or is this
No.
specific to your town?
This is specific to the Hollows.
Oh,
Interesting.
They stay within the walls of the village. They're only active at night. If you go near the old temple here in town, there's a lot of them there, so you might want to avoid it. Nobody really goes there at night. But yeah, there's nothing. Like I said, this is just life for us in the Hollows, and he just kind of shrugs.
Very interesting. I was told that you had beer here that was in some sort of competition with those across the river. I would like to sample this beer if possible.
Well, I wouldn't say competition. I can't compete with Yawim's.
Well, you'll never win that way. Not with that attitude.
I'll gladly get you some, but I can't compete with his product. He says no, the real the war that's going on is between the elder Mrs. Polymere and Yawim. It's not of the
Interesting.
product itself.
I see.
What do they both want to be the boss or something?
Yeah, they don't see eye to eye, and he is very vocal in his dislike for her, and she tends to he kind of gets uneasy again and kind of rubs his hands together and looks down, and she kind of abuses her power from time to time. Oh, and he looks around as he says that. Yeah, it's just a
Hey, I don't know
disagreement.
anyone in town. You don't have to get upset about or scared of me talking to anyone. I don't know anyone.
Yeah, well, they
I'm
just
trying
they
to calm them down a little bit.
yeah, okay.
Roll
He looks
something,
around and
maybe-
enough about this subject. Well, you could try talking to Miss Polymer. She'll be here tonight. Like I said, she comes every evening, and all of her followers gather here as well. Why don't you come back in the evening and you could speak with her?
Okay. Maybe I'll sing her a song.
Oh, you know what? I bet she would love that. Would pick up her spirits. So,
Well, gents, what do you say? You want to? What do you guys want to do?
What time of day is it?
it's getting to be like late afternoon now, and so you guys wandered around and chatting. You guys sat here and had like a meal. You had a couple drinks. It's getting to be like 3:30. It's getting late now.
Okay.
One more question, good innkeep.
Yes.
Is there any law protecting yourself if you are attacked by these restless dead?
No, there is no law against it. Many a visitors have made the mistake of not doing the ritual, and you have to defend yourself if you're in that situation.
Nod and enjoy my wine.
I must say, thank you for giving that information. I mean, you're a lifesaver. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I don't want to see any harm come to any folks discovering our fine little village here. Yeah, I must go attend to others, but please come back anytime. And we do have room and board available here if you'd like to stay here the night.
What is the cost of that?
Oh, it's just a couple copper a night.
Oh, okay. I will think about it.
Actually, we should look at engaging a place to stay. I doubt we're going to travel on today. Yes, looking around.
I guess you're right.
That
He is,
sounds
after all,
sensible.
saying there are a lot of new people coming through. We wouldn't want to miss out on getting a room or two.
Agreed.
All right. Yes, there's definitely rooms available for all of you. And he goes, I'll set you up here. And he takes your copper, and he leaves and comes back with some keys to some room. How many rooms would you like?
Actually, as he's got his back turned, for the rest of the people at the table here, I pull out my coin pouch and I rattle it, and there's the bare sound of only a few coins clinking together. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I am starting to get a bit low. We're going to need to figure out a way to earn some coin around here. Unless any of
agree
you
with
happen
you.
to be particularly wealthy.
No, I definitely could follow suit. I definitely help you out on a job.
Okay. So nobody's particularly wealthy. So he goes,
No.
So Olm comes back and goes, okay, so for 2 copper, that will get you I'll get you a bed in the dormitory. Dormitory holds up to 6.
Ah, well, that seems to be the proper number, yes?
Yes, or you could for 5 copper per person, you could have one of our double rooms in the west wing.
Mm. We camp together at night. What's the difference, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're basically going to take over a whole dorm to ourselves.
Yeah,
so.
essentially. Okay, so you guys pony up for the dormitory for the night. Oh, very good. Well, you should wander around town a little bit before evening. And like I said, Mrs. Palmer and her loyalists gather here every night. You'll have a chance to
Is
speak
there
with her.
some alarm or bell to tell us when it would be safer to be inside than out?
Well, let's just say it when dusk hits. I would head indoors.
Good.
Did Phineas pay for everybody, or just him?
Oh, the 6. You said it would be 2.
2
Oh,
each.
2.
We
Yeah.
can't.
Oh wait,
We
that's
can't hear you,
10.
Grit Snob.
That's the silver. No, I cannot hear you,
We
Gizmo.
can't hear you. You've probably been talking away.
Yeah, I can't hear you in a bad way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we haven't heard you. Okay, sounds good. All right, these guys pay for your room. You get the dormitory.
Hello?
There we go. We got you.
Oh, okay.
Now I hear words.
Yes. All right.
No one took up my challenge on arm wrestling, huh?
No, everybody kind of stays away from the large armored guy throwing out challenges to arm wrestle.
Oh, it's afternoon. They're not nearly drunk enough yet. Try that again later.
Okay.
Do you
And
have 2 copper?
For the room for the night, yeah, I'd rather stay in this place that smells of pig. Grilled pig. I think I do have 2 cards. If not, I'm a scout. I can sleep outside.
You guys
no,
do.
If,
Go ahead.
I'll cover the difference.
You guys do have that gear that you picked up to sell, whatever was left over.
Oh yeah. Is there?
Can we pay you in swords?
Let me just ask to clarify. I did ask last session. There's no distinguishing marks on this armor or weaponry, right? Because
Correct.
this is probably the town they came from.
There is no distinguishing marks. Correct.
I have 6 silver.
You have 6 silver. Holy crap!
Wow.
You are
this-
rich.
and he didn't raise his hand when I asked if anyone was rich. Smart, real smart.
That's what happens when you're an adult and you don't have to buy anything.
Oh, you started. Yeah, you started with all you're doing your random character
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah, the random character generation gave me all my gear.
That's right. All the good stuff. Okay.
The
You get
spicy
far more
material.
stuff in the random generation than you do in the
Yes.
just creating it step by step.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, do I have to pay to hold up my donkey?
You have a donkey?
Yep.
What? Oh, you bought
Wait,
you
no,
bought a
no, I
mount.
don't. Nope, different. Nope, no,
Okay.
I don't. Never mind. Sorry.
I'm like, I'm bringing up your character sheet right now. I don't remember a donkey in the mix here.
No, sorry. I was rolling up a random character earlier in the day. I got confused for a second.
Yeah. You guys are all marching. There's nobody has a mount. Except that your goblin might have a mount. I can't remember.
No, I guess that goblin has to share.
You're just to hop on the dog that he's riding
Time
or
to-
whatever it is.
Time to get that goblin some side mounts.
So, I believe one of you was going to ask someone for a work or something. I don't know. I'd rather not.
Yeah, you guys had asked him
I
earlier
don't-
about work, and he wasn't aware of any jobs, but he told you to maybe check in with Mrs. Polymer at some point. who
The
will be able to-
bailiff.
Yeah. Right.
The bailiff, aka the hag, as
The
they so
hag.
lovingly referred to her as.
Yeah.
Although he did kind of point out that opening a new shop of some sort in this place might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, if you want to brew some beer for him exclusively.
I'd have to import some rice, make some different kind of wine.
Yeah. You guys want to ask him if there's anywhere to hawk your goods?
Yeah. So, we're talking to Sturkis, right?
Olm.
No,
No.
Sturkis. No, Sturkis is at the other guy. Yeah.
Olm is the gentleman who owns this place. Yeah, if you ask him where you can sell some stuff, he goes, "Oh, what sort of things are you looking to sell? There's a general store here, and there's a smithy. Or what is it you're looking to sell?"
Oh, I pull out my sword from my sheath. I'm like, oh, I got an extra one of these. Like waving it, be like, oh hey, like halfling style. Be like, oh, la di da.
Well, Ness is the village blacksmith, and he's just across the way from here. It's building number 14 on your map there, guys. He goes, "Oh, you walk right past the well and continue on," and he points out the window to the blacksmith, and you see it's clearly a blacksmith. He's got the billows and fire and everything, and the anvil out there, and he's actually working away at the fire. Yeah, you could sell that sort of ware to him.
Do you have a trade house by any chance? A place to buy supplies and goods?
Yeah, there is a general store here. We'll say it's the one right next to it. It's right to the left of number 14. That's the general goods.
Can you ping it for me?
Oh, yes. It's not numbered. There is no general store numbered in the layout of the town. So that's it right there.
Oh. I didn't know. Okay, my eyes are bad, so like.
No worries. Right next to number
Blends in.
14.
Yep.
So after he turns away, I'll say, well, if anyone in this town would know the provenance of these blades, it's going to be the blacksmith. Maybe it's best not to try and sell these weapons to him. There might be questions.
Yeah, that's a good point. Smart. Hey, this is my mark. Where did you get these swords from? Where's Joe, Bob, and Jimmy?
Okay.
So, you guys, it's it's about 3:34. Did you want to go to the general store or
Try
anything, or what would you like to
We
do?
could try that trade house. Maybe we can, if we can't get coin for those weapons, maybe we can trade for some supplies that we might need.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we need rations.
Good thinking, bartering. Yes, you do need rations when you guys leave here. Some of you guys, I think, started with rations.
I
Yeah, so
have.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have a food dice.
Yep. So you guys head over to the general trade goods, and you go in there. There's a adult woman, middle-aged woman behind the counter, and she greets you. She says her name is Maria, and this is her family store. And she goes, "Oh, what can I get for you, travelers? We have many goods available. And essentially, the store sells anything that's in the trade goods menu is available here, or trade goods table. It's available for purchase in this town village.
Well, I have
So
nothing
following
to
some
trade and no
rations,
coin. So I'm going to stand outside and just kind of sit and watch for a bit. You guys with stuff to sell, have at.
How
Okay.
much are rations?
Rations? Well, let's see here. So field rations.
1 silver.
Yeah, 1 silver each.
Spendy.
Yeah, but they keep you
And
alive.
you said Ixnay on the trading of the swords, right?
Oh, no, this would be the place to trade them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would like to trade one. You said, all right.
Yeah, you present her a sword, and she goes, "Well, this is more of Ness's sort of specialty. We don't. Why don't you take it to him next door?"
Who?
Ness,
Oh, the
the
blacksmith.
blacksmith.
He seemed a little busy. I didn't want to bother him. And besides, I need rations. So I'd rather do a fair trade than
His
it's just it's an extra step to go to him, get the money, and come here, and then spend the money. I'm just trying to cut out one step.
his
I think
money's
that
good
sounds
here, but if you want, you can try to make a manipulation roll if you want to try and convince her of this. Because
okay.
it is a little odd that you're going right past the blacksmith and trying to trade sorcerer, which is right next door.
Okay, let's see. Now, because I'm a halfling, I'm adaptive, which means I can reasonably substitute one skill roll for another.
Is that like a
Oh, wait a minute.
racial talent? Don't you
No,
need willpower
no,
to
I'm
use
not.
talents?
Hold on. I'm not. No, hold on a minute. I was looking. No, I'm
Is this
thinking.
another one of your
Okay.
characters you made?
Oh my god.
It's right there with the donkey.
So I got to pass it to him. And okay, I'm so sorry about getting the character confused. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to catch, right? Are you talking about the kin talent?
Is that what it is? The kin talent you're talking about?
Oh,
Yeah. At least I think that's what he was talking
that's
about.
a human
That's it.
kin talent, but that's right. I'm not a
Yeah.
human. Okay.
Not yet.
So anyway, I'm rolling.
Why? I was like, that was blank for me. Okay. Nothing. You want to push
Well,
it? You want to push it?
I would like to push this roll if that's
You got no
acceptable.
ones
Yeah.
going into it.
Push
I
it
know,
real
so I
good.
might as well.
Well, you got one.
You got one.
So
All right. So I got a willpower point.
You got a willpower.
And my
Empathy goes down by one.
Empathy goes down by one.
I hit
Okay.
the old empathy. Ugh. She goes, I don't really need that. Go see Ness. And I will take it. I will gladly take Ness's money.
All right. Extra work. No, he's just trying to say that so she's not even more worried about.
Just to quickly touch on willpower while we're here, we generate some now. So willpower, I don't know if you guys read it or this, that, or even just people watching it, will carry over from session to session. It doesn't go away or erase. It's not like, I don't know, like Benny's or whatever from Savage Worlds. It will carry over. So you guys are going to accumulate over time, and you're going to be sitting on a bank of it after a while. I think just to start to get that initial like currency going is kind of like, oh, I have to take damage to get this. But once you have it, you're going to be generating it all the time.
yeah.
And that means I have willpower now.
The other thing is that we're in a town right now, so at some point we're going to be sleeping. So I'm not worried about.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah,
another
exactly.
reason why I'm doing it. Like
Nope.
anytime I'm in a town.
No, I agree. This is a good place to be pushing rolls that you fail and such.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about like, oh hey, a giant lizard.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay, cool. So she's like, not
Okay,
really my
so I
thing,
put it
but
back and
I will take his money, she says.
sure. So when I get this money, I will come back.
Okay, yeah, that
I'll
sounds
wait for
great.
you guys outside.
Phineas heads out with his sword that he's trying to sell. So the remainder of you are in there, or are you leaving?
And my head hung low.
Defeated.
I'm not gonna buy any rations until we're gonna hit the road. So no,
That's fair.
I'm
You just want to keep challenging people to arm wrestling matches.
Well, as I'm leaving, I say, do you know of any jobs? Because we still haven't really found any jobs.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You guys haven't really found any
So
jobs.
I ask her. I'm like, oh, do you happen to know any work? Any work needs to be done around in town?
She thinks. She goes, well, I don't know about work. Well, there's a bounty out. For there's rumored to be a camp of goblins to the west of here. There's a rumor of it, and you bring back goblin ears, you can trade them in for bounty. Is that what you're looking for?
Really?
You look like an adventurer.
Yeah, I like to go out and do a little tune. Get down tonight. Maybe pull some goblin horns out of their sockets. Who knows?
Yeah, you might want to you could look into that. Why don't you talk to the Rust brother a little bit more about that?
Oh, they would know. He would know more about that.
Yeah.
you travel from somewhere.
Alrighty. When I see him, I'll see him. Thanks
Okay.
a lot, Missy.
Yeah. Come on back with Ness's money and you pick up your rations. They'll be waiting for you. So we'll say it's about
So
5 o'clock at this point.
I spread the word that we got that there's a possible job for us in town.
Yeah.
That's where we want to be.
So there's a possible job.
What's this job?
Oh, well, it's not really in town. It's outside of town, but it's for the town. And since we don't have any goblins in our party, I don't think we would be Any against killing some goblins for the town?
Well, especially if they're a nuisance. Could be doing these people a favor.
They're hurting that young lass inside the store there, apparently.
That's reason enough for me.
Okay.
So sometime we'll have to do that.
Yeah, it's about 5:30. The sun is starting to go down at this point.
Would you guys like to run over to the other bar and see what they say, or tell them what you guys think about this about the? Do you want to go back to the Three Skulls Tavern and tell them what we think of the beer over here, or rather the lack thereof?
Well, I was thinking for this evening, the inn was saying that what's her name again? Sorry.
Mrs. Palmer.
Mrs. Palmer will be holding court at the inn. It might be interesting to sit near and hear what's going on with.
All right, sounds like a good idea. We can always get drunk with beer tomorrow, right?
You always get drunk there too.
Well, I meant with beer because they don't sell beer; they sell wine.
They
so,
do have beer.
right?
They just don't have
Down
good
low.
beer.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like crappy swill. And he did offer you on the down low some of the good stuff.
Yeah. He did offer a pot of schlop too for food.
Okay. So you guys want to head back to the dead man's hand, or the dead hands man, as it's now known.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys head back there, and there's a different crowd in there. The Rust brother is no longer there, sitting drinking his ale. Olm sees you come in and acknowledges you, and you guys take a table, and he kind of wanders over. He goes, "Oh, Mrs. Palmer should be coming in here soon. It is getting quite late, and she'll make her way here." So you guys wait around for a little bit, and you wait like half an hour, and more people are starting to come in and gather and congregate in here and take up tables. And after about 45 minutes, the door swings open, and some of the pardon me, the town guard or militiamen kind of barge in, and a number of them come in, and they're almost forming like a wall. And then they slowly separate, and you see this middle-aged woman amongst them, and you assume that it's Mrs. Palmer. I'll share this with you guys. There's a picture of her, what she looks like. She's very unassuming. She's not a threatening or intimidating person by any means, but she does have quite a stern look on her face when she comes in, and she seems almost like annoyed when anybody approaches her or speaks to her. And she does bark orders to her men, and you get the impression she's maybe a little drunk on power. Just the way she's kind of ordering people around, she kind of has that air about her that she's better than the others. And she sits down at a table, and the odd person comes over and talks to her, and she's just kind of doesn't even like look at them when they speak, and just kind of ushers them away, sort of thing. And you're observing her, and she scans the room, and you guys like get her gaze. She looks over at you, and she's interested in something she sees, and she's just kind of looking over at all of you, and she motions for one of her militiamen to come over, and she whispers for him, and he nods and looks over at the group of you and makes his way over, and he says, "Oh, this is Mrs. Palmer would like to speak with you." And you look back over the table, and she's gone. And he goes, I will take you to her. She would like to speak to you somewhere a little more private."
With us all?
With yes, all of you.
By all means, we wouldn't want to disappoint.
Oh, very good, very good. He seemed a little uneasy when you guys weren't when you didn't cooperate right away. He's a little fearful. Look in his eyes.
I'll say, yeah, I'll take a beer as he's walking over.
Yeah, is take your beer with you. That's fine.
No,
So
I
he
was
ushers
applying
you.
for him to get me one.
He ushers you over to a back room, to like a door, and he goes, right here, and the door opens, and Miss Palmer is standing there, and she lets out a smile. It's like one of those like Cheshire cat smiles, right? It's like there's something behind it, and she welcomes you. And she goes, oh, welcome to my village, adventurers. I see you're here in the new lands. Very good. Welcome to the Hollows. We're so happy to have you. Listen, I might have a job or what is it you would say? A mission for you to carry out. Would you be interested in doing so?
We're listening.
Well, I can't tell you what it is unless you accept. I can offer you many things: weapons, food, equipment.
Well,
We do have a
can't
stable
really
here.
accept
You don't have any
it.
mounts, do you? Perhaps a mount.
Well, let's hear what the mission will entail first.
Oh, like I said, I can't say until I have your word.
Well, that's hardly fair. You're offering trade instead of hard coin. Difficult to agree to anything.
Well, maybe I misjudged you. Yeah, you can go back to your table. That's fine. And she
Try to get a read off of that. I mean, does
Yeah,
it feel
sure.
like she's playing hardball here, or does it? Does it seem like?
Yeah, why don't you do
You know,
like an
like-
insight check for me?
All right,
Roll an insight.
not the most insightful.
That's the fun of rolling it then, right?
Nada.
No.
Okay, taking my wine and walking away.
Oh,
Actually, this is something
Do you want to push it?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, let's
you could.
push just to
This
do the
this
mechanics.
is relevant. It makes sense.
Okay, so it's just another roll, just the same.
Just
I mean, no
yes.
different, no modifier. It's just
No
the same
modifiers,
roll,
but you do have two. No, you keep your ones aside, so you're rolling
Yeah.
two less dice. So this is
Oh.
where the dice,
You
the
say-
advanced dice roller comes in handy on your character sheet. So
right? All right.
you can
Well,
go
let's
down there,
try this.
plug
Let's
in two
try
on the
this.
base, and whatever you have for your skill.
Have a 1 in 6 chance of succeeding, and if you fail, you're going to take 2 damage to your what is it? Empathy.
His empathy.
Yeah. Worst case
No,
scenario,
it
I'll
should be
take
his
3
wits,
damage
actually.
and you'll die.
That one is not coded correctly. It's your wits that insight is tied to.
1, 2.
Oh,
yeah,
so
that's
that
right.
actually gives
Yeah.
me one
Whoa.
dice. Yeah.
Well, you
Oh.
don't die, but what is that? Is you're like knocked out? You just like drop to the ground?
Oh yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's odd.
I'm-
Yeah, I don't like those odds.
So okay, I thought you'd rolled it again. I was like, oh wow, how we get? How
Oh
does that?
no, I haven't rolled. No, I'll just pick up my wine and say, well, it does not seem like
This is
a
this
good.
nice conversation.
Yeah, she's annoyed with you, and she's kind of like goading you. She's like, well, I see the cut of your jib, you adventurers. She kind of says and accentuates it, and she's
I
very-
give her a grin and say, no, mercenary.
Oh, mercenaries. You know what? I think this will be your last night in the Hollows. You can leave in the morning, she says, all annoyed and snooty.
Mm.
Now, madam, is that truly necessary? We have simply turned down the job. You didn't make it out like it was mandatory for us to accept.
If you want to stay in my village any longer than tonight, then you will do what I ask of you.
Oh, I see. Jozan and his fellows then weren't actually speaking ill of you. They do actually have a real grudge, it seems.
She
Oh, not Jozan. I'm sorry. What was
no, it's fine. Yeah,
I read off the
Yawim,
character's
Yawim,
name. Yoim.
Yawim. She gets like worked up. What are you doing? Talking with him, with them.
Why shouldn't we? We're new to your village here.
Yeah.
No
We're
idea what's
done
going
here.
on. We came here to give you the benefit of the doubt, thinking that they were speaking poorly of could be a fine woman, a fine leader, perhaps. But,
The sellsword speaks true.
She starts shouting for the guard. Guard, get in here, get them out of here, get them out of my sight, and ensure that they are gone in the morning.
well, considering we have already prepaid for this establishment to house us, perhaps we will simply retire for the night.
I think that's a good idea.
I like that.
She goes, I think that's a good idea too.
And madam, when are you going to retire so I know when to come back down and have some peace and quiet?
Wow.
Say that when we're out of the room.
She turns to her guard and she goes, you will be standing outside their door to ensure that they do not leave their room for the night once they go up there.
Whoa.
Oh my God! House arrest.
And he's
You
kind of like all
can't
nervous.
put me
He's
in
like,
timeout. You're in timeout.
He looks at her. He looks at you guys. He looks at like the five of you are like you're
well
he's no
armed
match
and
for
armored.
the five of you. Yeah. and he looks back at her and he's like, yes, elder. I will ensure that they stay in. His voice kind of cracks as he's saying it.
So, gentlemen, is that what we do?
Oh yeah, I'm walking away, glass of wine in
Okay.
hand.
Hey,
0%.
hey, do you want to ask her to arm wrestle?
She looks like it, right? But no.
No. As soon as you guys leave, she makes her way out in a huff. She gathers her other men, and she just out the door.
Well, that went well.
No, really, I think it did. It seems that our prejudiced dwarf might actually have a legitimate beef. Not a very
seems-
pleasant woman.
It seems no matter which way we turn in this village,
Everyone
know-
sucks.
Well, I didn't actually get that feeling. The good innkeeper here seemed to need to choke back his actual feelings of the good ma'am that has passed. I think most residents here probably don't like her very much.
Oh yeah.
hopefully that is the case. Hopefully the innkeep decides to let us stay here and doesn't throw us out because she's strong-arming him. I guess we'll
Hey,
see.
her guard is actually still right next to us, right?
Yeah, he's right next to you guys.
Yeah. So I say that in front of him. I pat him on the shoulder and say, "Don't worry, we're not likely to kill you."
Yeah,
Or
you,
her.
you can see he is not enjoying this duty that he's been put on. He doesn't really interact with you guys. Just kind of steps away, tries to ignore you.
Well-developed sense of self-preservation, always good in a guard.
Yeah. So you guys want to just kind of hang out in the general area for the rest of the evening, and then call it a night after a while.
Yeah, we're out of her sight since
Yeah,
she's not here.
She's left.
Why not?
Just
So-
talk to people, figure out something fun
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, she's left, and a lot of the people when she stormed out, a lot of the people who you would assume are her followers also left as well. So this place is emptied out quite a bit. There's still a few patrons left in here. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So it's starting to get late as well.
Hey, if offered, will our guard accept a beer or a wine?
I don't know. Why don't you
I would like to try
Won't you?
and draw out of this guard what her mission would have been.
try and manipulate roll to convince
I
him
really should be the one trying to do this. Okay.
to get him to take a drink.
All right, let's see. Manipulation is a skill, yes?
Yeah, under empathy.
Yeah, and a skill I don't have. Here we go. Hey, I got one.
You did it. So yeah, he's you offer him. Do you want to buy some of the good stuff?
Ooh, I can't afford the good stuff. If anyone else wants to.
It's just the cheap stuff, or wine, or what are you offering him?
Actually, if I can mention to you guys, it's like, look, maybe we can pump this guy for some information. It'd be nice to know what she would have hired us for. Anybody want to spring for something that might make him a little bit more suggestible?
Like
No.
bribe him?
Like buy him some of the better beverages that are available to.
Ah, I got you covered there. I take out the trusty water skin.
Oh, you
I
did have the
filled
good stuff
with
in there.
Beer.
Good call. Well done.
Nice.
I like it. Yeah, so you pass him the water skin, and I'm not thirsty. I don't want any water.
Ain't water in there, pal.
What
Dwarven water.
What is it? Dwarven water. He takes it and he kind of sniffs it and is this and he points in the direction of the other place. Is this
Nod and smile.
He looks around and he just takes a big old swig and just kind of chugs it and he hands it back to you, wipes his mouth, hands it back to you. Thank you. I haven't had that forever. Working for her, I can't touch the stuff. What do you have any more?
I carry one water skin with me, pal, but here's the deal. Guess what we want? I could probably sneak you in some.
What do you want?
I actually haven't been paying attention, so I want that. I turn to Moronath and say, "We want money, right?"
What did she want to hire us for?
She he looks around like super uneasy and he's like, she listen. Yam's brewery is getting a lot of attention, his product. The blood mists are gone. With that, we're getting a lot of travelers through here, but his business is people are coming from far and wide to come to sample his beer. She's worried it's going to attract strangers from other settlements. It's only a matter of time before robbers and orcs and other pests attack the village. So she wants someone to ensure that his goods don't go anywhere any longer. Did you see that the dock out there, the pier, the new pier with the two boats? She wants something to happen to those boats to ensure that he can't get his beer out of the village.
Were we the only people she talked to us to about this today?
As far as I know, yeah.
Was she the only one that talked to us in like the past week about it?
She may have approached others, but yeah, people haven't been too willing to take her up on her offer, not knowing what it is.
Okay.
Well, if we're looking for some coin, I think I know someone who might want to know this information.
Shh. Hey, you didn't hear anything, buddy. You another swig of beer?
Yeah, you got more?
Did he finish the
Give
water
him
skin?
some more.
Oh yeah, he downed the water skin.
Well,
Well, the innkeeper was offering some under the table, so
Yeah. Yeah, there's more available if you guys want to buy some.
could someone make a beer run? Because I can't.
He's but yeah, he let you know that she wants something to happen. Ensure that word stops spreading about his delicious beer and attracting people here. So I think you guys are at the point where you're gonna head up to your dormitory for the night, unless you guys want to go out and explore with the undead around town.
I'm fine not talking to any zombies right now.
Wraiths and restless undead. So we'll say you guys call it a night, and I think this is also a good point because we're almost at our end time here to call it a night for us for the
sounds
first
good.
session. We got a little bit of intrigue going on here in this village of the Hollows.
Shenanigans. Yes.
Shenanigans, yeah. So that was fun. We got some rolls in. I promise you there'll be a lot more rolls next time. But I thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for the people who watched us. We had quite a few people in here at one point actually watching the game for probably most of it. So that was nice. We've tapered off now because it's starting to get late. But we'll be back next week with session 2. So thank you again to the players, and thank you to the people who tuned in.
Yeah, thank you everyone, and thanks for running it, and thank you viewers.
Yeah.
Thanks.